Recently, I had a client quit on me. And very seldom does that happen to me as a mentor, as a coach. But whenever that does happen, it reminds me of how different I am from a lot of men, from a lot of people. A man has to do whatever it takes to aggrandize himself, make him a man worthy of respecting. And in order for us to become men that are worthy of respect, we have to exercise things like honor, discipline, valor. It's unfortunate because in this industry, as a coach, as a life coach, as a mindset coach, I try my very hardest to serve guys, and my clients will attest that I go above and beyond for the people that work with me. But the truth is, the average man has no endurance, no fight, no heart, no pride. And that's a shame. You know, I've had a tumultuous life. I've had a hard life. I mean, shit, 14 months ago, as a grown 31-year-old man, I was down on my ass, flat broke, sleeping on my cousin's couch, doing odd jobs, trying to figure it out. I had a great six-figure tech job a year and a half prior to that. Things were going good. I was finally saving, putting myself in position for freedom. Got laid off, right? Things happened. A lot of people got laid off. I had a business, a fitness business at the time that I had been scaling since the pandemic, but that was actually dying. So while I had that tech job, I kind of got comfortable and like forgot to also go hard on building out my own dream life, because I always knew that working for a company would never give me the kind of life that I wanted, right? So I was always future thinking. And so got laid off, domino effect, got my heart broken, broke up with the girl that I was seeing. She did me dirty, right? Was on my last couple of racks. I'm trying to make it stretch, right? It started running out. Okay, so I had to go back to my cousin's house, right? Thank God I actually had somebody that I could stay with. My cousin was also struggling. We were both about to get kicked out of the apartment multiple times. And I remember one night just like sitting down, and I was just like, I was furious with myself. I was talking so much shit to myself, like, Dud, you are way too intelligent. You are way too capable of a man to be dealing with this bullshit. I had a real talk with myself. You know, people oftentimes regard to the ego as it being bad. No, we need the ego. We just have to know how to control it, right? I've got a I've got a huge ego. I just know when to completely diminish it, right? Because you have to also humble thyself. Life will have many ways of humbling you. After that night, I was fierce. I was like, yo, I gotta make some money, because I had like 6 cents in my bank account, and I think I took a screenshot of that picture if I could find it. I was like, yo, this is I ain't been this broke since I was a kid. Like, damn, nigga. Like, and a lot of people can resonate with what I just said. Like, damn, like how the fuck did I get this broke? Right? It seemed like my life just collapsed in the blink of an eye. And that, my friend, is called a cycle. When you're at rock bottom, it means that you're about to come up big if if you can do what's necessary. If you can do what's necessary, you got to give some effort. That's it. Just some effort, right? And if you as a man can give effort, just a little bit more effort every day, that compounds into a week, compounds into months, that compounds into a year, you're going to start to build resilience, right? In fact, by you exercising that consistency of just doing a little bit more, life is going to reward you with everything you could even imagine if you commit to yourself, though. if you understand that you got to commit to this journey that can be very difficult, but if you can endure, you're going to become so much more greater. And as a coach, I try to educate my clients on this concept in a way that's more like chewable, right? Because not everybody wants to be thrown philosophical sayings and shit. I'm a very deep thinker, right? So you have to package things in a way that people can understand. Seeing people quit when literally last year at this time, I was down on my ass as a grown man. And within 8 months, I created a brand new 6-figure business from the same couch that I was sleeping in at my cousin's apartment. I've been down on that a couple of times and I had to go to my cousin's apartment, man. True shit. If I can build something from nothing into a 6-figure business, right? And I'm not no genius. I'm not downplaying myself. I'm very smart, but I'm not a genius, right? I have to work to develop myself and make myself a more formidable man. I have to work to make myself more capable, intelligent, right? So all I did was just didn't give up and just kept on working, right? And now where I'm taking my business and brand within these next few years, because boss is thinking decades, right? I'm taking this shit far as I possibly can, right? Because I'm doing great work. And in my rock bottom, one of many, the most recent being like 12 to like 14 months ago, in my rock bottom, I was able to find alignment. So what's the point of this video? This video is to let you guys know that all you got to do is just give effort. That's literally it. And most guys can't even do that. I don't understand the mindset of a weak man because even in my weakest, I was still strong. Even when I was at my rock bottom, I was still tenacious. The enemy might have saw me in a position that was perceived to be weakness, but really, I was in that motherfucker training. I was being built up. And the next season and level of my life I go to, right, it's gonna bring its new issues. I don't know what that's gonna be. Maybe another person I love dies. That's been happening more often than I would like lately. Who knows what it's gonna be? Fellas, we are living real life. And real life is not what you see on Instagram. Real life is exactly what I'm talking to you about right now. It's real issues. Events happen that you never would have imagined. I'm jogging in the park one morning last year and I get a call that my 36-year-old big brother had a heart attack and died. He had 2 babies, my niece and nephew. That's my big brother. I ran and strolled through the park one morning and I get the call from my dad. What are you doing? At Shitano. So life, fellas, it gets a lot harder. So if you can't even give effort when life is not that hard, and perhaps you just have a minor issue like you lost your job, in the grand scheme of things, man, you're alive. If you have your family that's healthy, right? I'm telling you, money is not everything. Like the things that really matter, if you could just give effort, man. A lot of y'all don't even realize how good you guys really have it. And you still can't show up. That's crazy. Fellas, just give effort, do what you gotta do, man. Tap into your pride, tap into whatever you gotta tap into, because I believe that as a man, we can have multiple fuel sources. I always tell my clients this, you gotta figure out what your fuel sources are. For me growing up and not having stability as a kid and all the shit I went through, I had a lot of anger and rage, and that carried me up until high school sports, up until college. But then I had to start tapping into other parts of me. And tapping into those other parts of me were painful, but I had to start healing myself in order for me to be in a position to be where I'm at now, to lead, or to just even get better and to be able to handle certain things and understand certain perspectives, right? This is truly a personal journey for everybody, right? For everybody that's watching this, which are predominantly men. And so when I tell you guys in my videos, you just got to commit to your journey and just keep hustling, never stopping, and accept that life is going to scar you up. Like when I tell you guys these things, I'm talking from real experience. I'm talking from experience. If somebody like me can be in a position where I'm in today, and as I said before, I don't consider myself successful. I have a lot of work to do, fellas. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, being completely honest. But I'm okay. I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like if I can do that, if you have a fraction of fight, fellas, y'all should be able to do it too, man. So I had to add this portion in the video real quick as I was editing. Like there's so many things that happened to me in just the past 15 month season that I couldn't even possibly try to articulate it in a video. Life is very complex, but right after that night where I was furiously screaming at myself, I started doing hella research on YouTube. And so like I started watching hella videos, but I knew I needed a coach. Like I knew, because clearly I wasn't doing good by myself. So I knew I needed a coach. The problem was I didn't have any money. So I came across this one company called highticket.com, right? At this point, I started uploading. I've got multiple YouTube channels. I've been hustling for like a decade, bro. Like just off of YouTube alone, right? So when people ask me how can I, like, in certain videos, how can I just talk for like 20 minutes straight with no stop? It's because I got a lot of shit to talk about because I've been through a lot. I started doing research. I ended up coming across this company called highticket.com that helped coaches scale their businesses. I'm not sure if they're still in business or whatever. I was just desperate to just like, this is how delusional I am. Even though I had absolutely no money, bro, like I just booked a call with them anyway, just to like get a sense of that virtual energy of somebody that's doing well. Like sometimes as men, we just gotta get around people, like any proximity around somebody that's just doing well, just to kind of get you out of that frequency of rock bottom. Like I hope this is making sense. I booked a call with him, da da da. And actually, like what I did to him is what I hate now that some prospects do to me. But I just kind of laugh when it happens because I'm like, I've been there before. Like they're in that phase where they're at rock bottom, they're scared, like they're being delusional, they're trying to figure it out, right? Like I know that feeling so much from the student standpoint, from the guy that needs help to now being the mentor. Like it's crazy, right? You really truly do get knowledge from what you go through. And so he told me how much their program cost at the time. I think it was like 5,800 or something like that, right? So I told him, yeah, da da da, whatever bullshit I told him, right? I don't got the money, whatever. So he hopped off the call. But I was just thinking to myself, like, yo, I gotta hire these guys, right? I was so bent on hiring them. I ended up asking my friend, my good homie, my brother, one of my realest guys that's actually working with me in my company now that handles our Money Monday calls, right? So he's actually now also a coach with inside my company. And so I was like, bro, I'm down and out. And I've been down and out a couple of times. It's like, this is my good friend since high school. And so I was like, bro, I'm down and out. You know me, I'm a hustler. I always figure it out. I need some money. I'm trying to join this program, da da da. How much you need, Dud, right? My nigga always got me. Always got me. And when you have friends like that, you're loyal to the end, because when they support you in your lowest, you know that's a real brother. I was like, yo, program is like, it was like 5,800. No, it was 6,000, my bad. But they said they could do a payment plan for 500, right? So I was like, bro, I need 500. He gives me the 500. Mind you, that's all I had to my name. Like, I had 6 cents in my account, right? I didn't even know how I was gonna get the next 500 the following month. Like, this is the kind of delusional belief y'all gotta have in yourselves when I'm talking to you guys about delusion in my videos, when I'm writing on these whiteboards. Like, this is what I mean. Y'all just don't get it. Like, only the people that truly make it get what I'm talking about. That type of delusion, right? I'm talking about like the Kanye's, like anybody that's ever pushed the limit, right, to become something, right? I'm very inspired by the great thinkers and thought leaders of this world. And so I ended up signing up on a payment plan for 500 with this coaching company, right? And it's also true what they say. Like, now I understand when they say that clients who typically get on payment plans are a hassle. They are, which is why I only like clients that pay in full, at the bare minimum split pay, right? Because clients that don't have a lot of money, or sometimes that just like they didn't pay in full, they don't have that level of commitment. That's just the God's honest truth. And so I got into this program, and like the first week, like emotions are high, guns blazing. I'm doing all the things. I'm looking at the course material in their school, writing shit up. I'm blasting emails to the fucking coach, like, I need help. I can't wait till this weekend for the call, da, da, da. And I'm being a complete hassle. And so what happened? They actually kicked me out of the program, right? And like, I was crushed, bro. I was like, damn. Like, this was supposed to be the break where they teach me how to scale my coaching business so I can finally get on my feet as a man. But nah, I got a little email. They gave me like a little refund, and that was it, right? And so now I'm like, fuck, man. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, sometimes as guys, we get so caught up on one idea of a route that we thought that was ours. But this is what I always say, mentally, you always have to be dynamic, right? I was like, nah, fuck it, I gotta hire somebody. There was this other coach that I was watching, right? Shouts out to DeAndre Saxon, I gotta be honest, right? Great guy, great educator, right? Great mentor. I hired him, right? So that 500 that I had, I took 300 of that, and I hopped in his school community. That shit was fucking 300 a month. Like, goddamn, you know what I mean? But I hopped in that shit and learned a fuck ton. And a good portion of what I learned in that environment is actually interwoven into my program, because what I've learned was so important for the mindset and how to really get everything you want out of life. So when people say that mentorships or courses and things like that are scams, they are completely ignorant, because without mentorship, I would not be where I'm at today. Straight up. Mentorship changed my life. You know what I mean? Straight up. Worth every single cent. Mentorship is worth every single cent, man. My God. And so I got into that. And then from there, man, I just started hustling. I started my new company, right? Because people would always call me a Renaissance man, and that's honestly what I've always tried to cultivate myself into being. And I had all these different experiences, right? There's so many things I can't say in this video of just experience I got, from business to travel to date. Like, I just had this fuck ton of knowledge, right? Of just personal experiences. And then people were fucking with my content. I was teaching a lot, giving a lot of free game. I was giving a lot of free game for months. I mean, game that people package up and sell in courses, right? I was giving a lot of information out. And I said, well, I'm already getting booked out, because I had so many one-on-one consultations. Like, it was just getting getting booked, and that shit was taking up my whole day, so much time. I was like, let me just create a group community where I can serve all of you guys. You feel me? And it's like we can all build together. And I came up with this concept of an ecosystem and a brotherhood, right? So that we can have brothers all over the world, right? And we can have in-person conferences, and we can build together on an intellectual level, business level, right? On every level. And so I just started building that shit up, and then life is funny. Like 2 months into building it out, this crazy Spaniard reaches out to me, and next thing you know, he becomes my fucking COO. And we just click, and we're just hustling, grinding, having a fantastic time, building out the business, building out the back systems, and then just clients flying in, and just me doing what I do best, which is coach and serve and help these guys. I started filming my course, getting the material, structuring the idea, and just building this whole ecosystem. And so I did that shit, you feel me, in like 4 or 5 months, right? Honestly, less than that. I did that shit in like a month and a half, bro, 2 months, just grinding every day, nonstop, maniacally. I had to get out of poverty, bro. You understand that kind of drive? A lot of guys don't. When you really want something, and I'm gonna sound like Eric Thomas here, but man, these guys are so good. These great speakers that you be seeing, man, they know exactly what they talking about, bro. They done been through shit to have the capacity to speak like that, bro. Don't you understand? Like, you don't get the ability to be such a great speaker, an educator, right? A holder of knowledge and wisdom, a teacher, if you ain't been through shit. And I say that to say this: if you're going through something right now, oh, good. It's making you stronger, man. God damn. You gotta get comfortable with the pain as a man, fellas. It's never gonna stop hurting. You might have like a couple of minutes, right? Metaphorically, a couple of weeks of euphoria, right? Treasure those moments. But most of our lives is handling stress and weight and serving in the midst and serving because of that weight. Bro, a man's journey is fucking lit. Everybody watching this is literally a warrior in your own right. But you just gotta keep fighting, bro. It's literally that simple. Ooh wee, like I'm getting fucking charged up right now. Like, you just gotta fucking literally fight. You know how much of a blessing listen to what I'm gonna say right now. You know how much of a blessing it is to be able to go to war in your mind, in your life, and become the victor of your life. You wanna talk about building confidence? Nothing builds your confidence like overcoming and proving to yourself that you're 100% the man that you say that you are. Man, you have no idea how good it feels for me to continuously prove to myself that I'm stronger than I was whenever whatever bad situation happened to me. I wish that for all of you watching this video. But we have to put in effort, fellas. We have to go harder. We have to keep on digging. Your life is your life. You determine if you're gonna find your version of success, right? You're literally in control of your own life. But you have to take conscious actions every day and commit to that version of you. Without that, you're not gonna achieve it. So you end up in this mental ring around the rosy where there's periods of motivation, there's periods of doubt, right? There's all these periods, but you're not really growing, you're spinning. Until you can snap out of that and say, yo, no, I gotta have this more than anything. My parents are getting older. I gotta provide a life for them. I have to I have to be the one to change my family, or I gotta be the one to make something of myself, right? Especially when you come from certain environments, right? I've been very open with the humble beginnings that I've come from and the third world mentality, right, that I was brought up in, right? There's a lot of pain in my culture as a Haitian, as an African, right? And so in order to break out of those mental shackles, fellas, like, you just got to give effort, bro. Like, you got to be a different beast because most people are trapped under a spell, right? A spell of what their culture is, what their religion is, right? What their ideology, what their region believes. Everybody is under spells. But when you finally wake up and start to think and you realize how much you've been controlled and you actually start pushing forward, fellas, you can literally manipulate your reality. You can literally get anything you want, virtually anything you want. And so I would wish and bestow upon you guys that level of drive, that level of clarity, so that you could really just go out and fucking dominate, quite frankly, and just win.